My name is Carlin and today I'm representing Group 17 and my team members, Ruyu Jiang, Xiyan Zheng and Yisao Wang. I would like to acknowledge that our gathering, this project and our education are being held on the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. We acknowledge their ownership of the land and pay respect to elders past, present and future. During the late 19th century, commissioned Aboriginal artwork of ceremonies, hunting and warfare were based only on generic scenes. However, this painting by William Burrock, the last elder amongst the Wurundjeri people, is a rare piece that took reference of a real-life occurrence of a specific ceremony. It is considered by the descendants of the Yarra tribe the Bible, as it was the representation of a culture whose language was not written, but in fact spoken through art. There is a real-life story within this painting, one that is connected to the land where Richmond resides and where we currently live. The Richmond area was previously considered as part of the parish of Jigga. The growth of industry, access to the source of labour, and waves of immigration have influenced development and shaped place over the last 180 years. Currently, there are over 27,000 people living in Richmond, composed of communities and stories we'd like to get to know. We see Gleadell Street as a place embedded with many communities, from the boxers at Leo Berry's gym to the caffeinated individuals at Thousand Blessings. We also see its strong association with sports and inclusivity to welcome all age groups, from amateurs to athletes. We've also heard some of your voices, visited Gleadell Street, and identified a plethora of opportunities that we are actually really excited about. We want our project to have an overall positive impact on Gleadell Street, and would like to focus more on our high stakes but low resources stakeholders. Our other stakeholders are also important, so ensure that their voices are heard by adopting a holistic perspective and an open mind to placemaking. Within our tutorial group, we conducted an online visual survey and questionnaire that some of you may have participated in. We're excited about these ideas that you've presented to us, including things like movable urban furniture, small native gardens, and opportunities for animal habitats, community gardens, pavement artwork, and Indigenous art, and opportunities to play within nature. Overall, we have summed up these 5 points as the biggest issues on Gleadell Street. But we need your help to create Gleadell Street as a place where you would want to be, gather, contemplate, and have fun at. We have a vision for Gleadell Street. We would like to engage and ask for your participation in creating it into a place that is vibrant with art, inclusive for all, and accessible for you, as well as the local community clubs, the Wurundjeri people, and the ecosystem. Our strategy strives to encourage meaningful connections between each other, with country and with this place that is Gleadell Street, while supporting and encouraging sustainable outcomes. We stand by some core place values and seek to ensure that Gleadell Street is not only accessible, sustainable and inclusive, but that we are able to celebrate all the communities, personalities and stories that you may share and create a place for storytelling where your voice is listened to with enthusiasm. Before we share a proposal to you, we also have some aims and objectives that we would like to achieve. We want to allow you to have strong connections with each other, to the natural environment and to country, and we encourage Indigenous perspectives to be heard and experienced. We avidly support mental and physical health and encourage you to be curious and to explore. We therefore strive to think and act holistically in order to do so. One of your fellow community members, Maroon Tanis, said that he wished for a stronger sense of belonging. Our project, ArtVenture, wishes to do so by taking you on a journey to explore the lesser-known bits of your suburb, hearing your stories and watching them translate into art of all shapes and forms. You may think that this is out of reach if you are not an artist, but we assure you that anyone can create as long as there is a story behind it. The first step is to explore. We plan to create a series of themed trails around your neighbourhood and encourage you to walk, run, cycle or meander through them. Some of these trails include sites of Aboriginal and Wurundjeri significance, local art and hidden graffiti gems, and biodiversity corridors for the non-human life forms, but also to connect you to the Yarra trails and diverse green space surrounding Gleadell Street. The next step encourages you to talk up country or to share your stories and narratives of experiences on your journeys along, throughout and within these trails, to get creative and to manifest this into art. We want to facilitate, guide and provide the resources and opportunity to embody your creations into paintings on the pavement, as light projections, sculptures and parklet designs. Not all of this will be permanent, but we will identify what was successful and what wasn't, as well as ask for your feedback to find out what ideas we should pursue. We propose to eventually incorporate biodiversity-sensitive urban design. From what we have gathered, green space and connections to nature is important and a priority for many of you. We also understand that it is already so difficult to find inner city green space that is not only for you to enjoy, but for animals, insects, and other life forms as well. We would also love to facilitate and provide Gleadell Street with the opportunity and means to have more street markets and events, and allow it to become a hub or a place where you can and want to come together. We would like to walk you through our idea. We anticipate that Phase 1 can begin as early as 2021, but this means that we need to put these trails into action. One of the trails we have is the Aboriginal Trail. We want to work with the Wurundjeri people and other Aboriginal communities to create a series of clues embodied by soft furniture and sculptural installations, art trams, and native and indigenous vegetation that can connect you from Gleadell Street to the Fitzroy Aboriginal Heritage Walking Trail. We know that the area is concentrated with stories, so we wish your curious minds there. For our second trail, we were inspired by another one of our fellow community members. His name is Joji, and he is an athlete, coach, and a runner. He mentioned Gleadell Street as a meeting point to arrive and gather before and after his activities, and as we understand, the main Yarra Trail is ideal for running and cycling. Our idea behind this trail is to green the streets with native flora and provide you with this sensory connection and welcome to nature. We're also thinking about our animal and insect residents and want to plant species accordingly so that they can thrive alongside you. We want to provide you with roots and seedlings so that we can plant together, but also be able to use these activities to educate the students of Lionel Hall and Richmond High through science and biology practical sessions. Every part of this trail, from the seedlings planted to the Sunday morning Studley Park cycle sessions, becomes part of your story that we want to hear and celebrate. Ideally, the second phase will last approximately a year. We want to make sure that these strategies we are proposing can be experienced throughout the seasons. We want to experience the physical manifestations of the journeys you had on these trails and excite others with your stories. We can all be William Burroughs and create our own ceremonies to share. Logistically, we believe that the added colour on Gleadell Street itself can alter perceptions of what a road is that exists beyond a thoroughfare for vehicles. We want to create light projections that are not only exciting to look at and be amongst, but that it can also become a safety feature to light up the darker corners and laneways on and adjacent to Gleadell Street. We would love to get the students and the youth involved in programs and initiatives that will help to shape this place, including providing temporary employment opportunities and building their skills by having a program for them to design and construct these modular parklets that can then be parked alongside the road. These can act not only as spots for social activity, but also as a means to narrow the road and slow down cars. They can also be moved so that the Gleadell Street market is not disrupted and can even complement the market as eating or waiting spots or a place to enjoy your coffee. We want to address your car parking concerns, and we hope to solve this problem by improving accessibility between Gleadell and Griffith Street and opening the adjacent laneways and thoroughfares. We are also inclined to have parallel parks instead of 45-degree parking spaces, and this will also allow us to create a shared and safe path with pedestrians, cyclists, and enable us to include green buffer strips that provide safety, biodiversity, and amenity value, whilst allowing Gleadell Street to be more welcoming for pet owners and runners. We anticipate that this, combined with our biodiversity trail, will eventually provide us with the opportunity to design a dogs off leashes area that is convenient, inclusive, and that pets will enjoy. We would like to walk you through some of our local and international precedents of urban places and designs we envision for Gleadell Street. These were all informed by the strategies we implemented in Phase 1 and 2, which allows us to see what you enjoy or don't that have the potential to form more permanent solutions for the place that Gleadell Street could be. These are some of the Melburnian inspirations of vibrant seating spaces, close to nature, and ideas to have animal habitats, community gardens, and even incorporate native bush foods into these gardens. We enjoy these examples and believe that our modular parklet designs can adapt to and inform what seating arrangements may look like in future. And finally, we have heard that you are excited for a night market, so we made it our pleasure to focus on how we can make it as vibrant, exciting, and as safe as possible. But before anything can happen, we have identified some opportunities to improve on each of our strategies. We are very aware that there may be issues regarding resources and maintenance, which is why we are proposing these tactical and less formal interventions. It was also fitting that the flora incorporated within the biodiversity trail were natives and low maintenance, as species survival is higher with plants already familiar with the environment and climate, and are also adaptable to the harsh and sporadic weather that Australia experiences. Some of these issues can also be better told once we implement them, but this is why we are asking you to help keep us informed of any issues that may arise, or that we may have missed. We seek to evaluate our project by analysing relationships between elements of place, including self and space, community and space, community and self, public and private, and nature and self. We also want to be evaluating our project throughout every phase so that we can ensure that our feedback is as relevant as possible and that we can make changes proactively rather than reactively. This will allow us to better adapt and be prepared, which will allow us to do a better job at reactivating Gleadell Street with you. So here we are, at the end of Phase 0, about to embark on Phase 1. You have heard what we think, now we want to hear what you think.